Chris Level here with another edition of Pirate Talk with my man Chip Darden, the head coach of the Lubbock Cooper Pirates. Coach, we sat here last week and you start the season and you're not, everybody starts and you're not real sure what you've got. You kind of have an idea, and then you come out in week one and it's hard to find a lot of things that your team didn't do well out of the gate.
Yeah, and a theme kind of going into last week was the scrimmage. You talk about can't win or lose a scrimmage and all that stuff, but kind of what we told the team was there's one main way to lose a scrimmage, and that's if you don't improve on stuff from the scrimmage to week one. So that was the best thing that we saw. We saw some improvement. We saw some things that went well in the scrimmage, went well again Friday night against Dumas, and I think that was our biggest takeaway, that we want to be on the upward trajectory. We want to keep improving every week, and we saw that. Now, I think there's some things we've still got to do better, and each week, not going to disrespect a previous opponent. But it gets better, and I think it gets more tense every week. You get closer to district, you get hopefully playoff time and all that. So, we've got to stay on that path. We've got to stay on that trajectory, and I thought we were off to a good start.
We'll get to a lot of good news here in a little bit, but I bet one thing that if there's any issue you could take away from it, it's kind of like the scrimmage penalties. A few penalties you probably want to clean up and just kind of pre-snap or just kind of, after the whistle kind of type stuff that you can control.
Yeah, and there's a fine line. Like, obviously, we calculate mental penalties, what we call mental penalties. That's false starts, offsides, and then usually personal foul. Basically just things that you can control, you can be better at. A guy hustling and he accidentally grabs a face mask, that's not a mental penalty. You're blocking and they call a hold on you. That's not. But a late hit, an extracurricular, those are. We did a really good job. I don't think we had any false starts, any offsides, but we had two of the personal fouls. So we got to clean those up. But there's a fine line with it. I think if you're not very physical as a team and you're pretty soft, you don't get many flags thrown on you. And we have to be better. Like there were I can think of about 4 right now off the top of my head that just we've got to be better. We've got to improve on. And then some of them early in the game you may have to adapt on how it's being officiated. So yes, we got to improve penalties, but there's also we don't want to lose aggression. We don't want to lose kind of how we're playing physical.
That's fair. Do you ever watch Hard Knocks? Or have you?
And I have. I'm not an HBO subscriber right now, but I have watched it. Yeah.
I'll get you a login. Yeah. Well, they're doing one on the Jets right now, and they did a preseason game, and the whole thing's about Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
Big deal.
Absolutely.
Understandably so. Well, Randall Cobb's playing up there, and they're best friends. It's like I think Randall Cobb is his kid, like Aaron Rodgers is the godfather. Anyway, the last preseason game they played the Giants, and Randall Cobb barely turns his shoulders, and it's this crackback block flag. It's a rule that's different in the last 3 or 4 years. And I thought, golly, he's just trying real hard.
Yeah.
Like he's blocking, and
Yep.
it's very physical. And not only was it a flag, a 15-yarder, but then Aaron Rodgers jokes back in the huddle. He's like, dude, you just gave away all your training camp money. They're going to fine you like $20,000 for that.
Yeah.
Different deal.
Luckily, we don't get the fines.
But you
for
are
that, yeah.
you want to like the right kind of football, man. And if they're trying hard and it just doesn't quite execute, then that you'll live with that. Is what I hear you say.
Yeah, and like officials are going to call holding. A different crew is going to call holding or some stuff a little bit different each week, and so sometimes you may just have to adapt on the fly, but. We got to get better. Way too many of those.
Okay. All right. And I don't want to bury the lead here because I think, Coach Lakeman's defense was nails, man. I mean, this was a complete effort. I said it on the broadcast. It would have been a very difficult night to be the Dumas play caller. They tried everything that they could, and there just wasn't a whole lot there. Some of that is Dumas with there's some snap issues and some things like that, but the defense was just, I think, very solid, well-rounded, all over the place. Physical, I mean.
Yeah, that was the deal, getting to the football. Really impressed with them. And that kind of going back to what I was saying about the scrimmage, we thought our defense looked fast in the scrimmage, and I thought they did Friday night too. Thought we were just really running to the football. And
population.
It was nice to see just everybody, rotating a bunch of guys in, and everybody still playing at that high level. We tell them all the time, if we get in a position where backups or third stringers are getting in the game, the expectation is the same, and we're going to coach you the same, and we want everybody to perform. So keeping that shutout was a big deal. I think it was the 21 season last time we had a shutout, the fourth round playoff game.
And it was the first time that Dumas had been shut out since 2013.
Yeah, I didn't realize that until after the fact, but yep,
I mean,
it's hard to do. Hard to do in this day and age.
We were, as we were going through the game and talking about it, as it kind of wound down, boy, there's some of those late fourth quarter series on offense.
Yeah.
I'm like, I guarantee you Coach Lakeman down there wants to keep – because it's very difficult to do,
Yeah.
and you're proud of it, you
Yeah.
know? And anyway, there was a couple of fourth downs, but you could just tell all-out effort, coaching, player, all that stuff. I thought it was great. And there was really – you know, I think you guys. Preston Jones was a name that I wasn't super familiar with, but there wasn't just like one guy doing. I mean, Cal Ritz did his thing. I mean, Carrillo was in on a lot of stuff, but there wasn't just one guy. I mean, it was kind of a collection of guys, and I think that's what was fun for you.
Yeah, I think so. And it starts up front. I thought our D line played well and was pretty disruptive. You know, our coaches talk about a havoc rate. Havoc being losses on plays or a stuff. I mean, there's a formula to it, but we're creating some havoc, and I think we young quarterback on their end that we got rattled early, and I think that helped. But Preston, interesting with him is he really came into that week as a number 2, and we had an illness during the week, and so he was thrown into it and just made the most of his opportunities. So that's great that we feel like our depth is good, where he wasn't the starter going into the week, but ends up being a big contributor and had a great game.
That's what you want to see.
Yep,
Guys step up, man. Opportunity, next man up. All that. But yeah, it was just fun to watch that group, and I know Coach Lakeman, he works hard. Offensively, you wondered about explosiveness and all that. I think you felt like you kind of had some playmakers, but I mean, did you expect this? Because Dumas is, we touched on it in last week's show. This is a group that there's not a lot of variety here. They're just really good at what they do. They do it well, and they've done it for a decade. But this was just.
I'm not saying that E word because I've been made fun of for how many times I've said it on this show. And
What's
I'm not going to say it.
Exceptional?
No, the one you just
elite?
said.
Elite?
The one you just said.
Okay, I don't even know what I said. Yeah.
The big plays.
Okay. Oh, explosive. Okay,
yeah.
my bad. Sorry. Yeah.
No, that's the thing. It's football now. I mean, that's it. And I think we were about even on first downs with Dumas. I think we maybe had 12. They had 11. And that used to be something that we charted. It was a big deal for us. We had a goal to get so many first downs in a game, and it's just the game has changed. So it's neat, to see kind of. And our goal is to have playmakers at different spots. Mm-hmm. I go back to 2019 season. We had some good playmakers. We had 5 of them playing running back. So, yes, that was nice. It was a great luxury, but at the same time, it's hard to get them all on the field at the same time. And then if you're a defense, you're planning for the running back. If it's number 3, if it's number 20, it doesn't really matter. Whereas now I think, Jackson Austin playing in the slot, being able to do some stuff with motion, but then also playing in the backfield. And I don't know, just moving guys around and having some of that big play ability at different spots, to me, makes it pretty tough on a defense.
Yeah, you kind of, and then obviously Hibbler at running back. You've got Deaver. I thought Caden Stanzione and Branson Carlisle were really bright spots as well, because they ran hard, and it's a kind of a change of pace from Hibbler's a little more shifty. They were more straight line speed guys and getting through the hole in some tough yards and things like that. But because you could even say that your tight end is a. I mean, I know how good of a football player Sam Marcinkowski is. He's not really,
and he had a good game. That's the thing.
Exactly.
Really good game,
and so don't forget about him as like this potential playmaker, but he's just a good player. I mean, and you're asking those guys to do a lot of things.
The two, so Sam Marcinkowski and Jaden Kennard. Both of them don't show up in the stat sheet, but they blocked their tails off. They had a really good game, and that's how you get that E word. A lot of times is by that people don't see. And
you have to have it, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't that is what I don't know who's making fun of you about saying that word, but that is what football has become. I mean. Other programs that I'm involved with, they talk about limiting the E-word plays, the explosive plays, and then like you need more of that. And it's like that's the whole game is geared toward that because that's just the way the rules are, the way the clock works, the way everything. It's just it's big,
is.
It
is, and when you've got guys, you mentioned like the change of pace, but even like Jackson Austin, you know, it was last year. I think it's always an interesting thought. He was always a slot receiver. And it was last year about this time, Frenship game, that we kind of would motion him into the backfield and start figuring out, okay, he's pretty good out of the backfield too.
He's very
and
good.
then the Wiley game was definitely that might be his natural spot. Well, right now he's going to be doing that, but he's also pretty good in the slot too, and makes us better there. But he's kind of the same. Like we line our team up and run a 40. He's not winning it. He's not the fastest kid on our team, but somehow he's just pretty good in and out, dipping, and you know I think we've got a few guys that can do that, and that's hard to prepare for. It's hard to tackle. You know, some of those guys. I don't know if Jaden and Jackson are just going to run anybody over, but they're going to make some guys miss. And anyway, that makes it pretty good. And then when you got the guys on the edge blocking, and you know you always hope, like Sam and Jaden, we hope to get them the ball and get them involved because they're good too, and they can make a lot of plays. And I think eventually that's what we hope is going to happen. Is there's so many guys that can make plays that it just makes it tough, and we kind of take what they give us.
Definitely a huge difference in some cases between fast and football fast.
Yep, that's exactly right.
That's
fast with the pads on.
Leverage, angles, I mean, all kinds of things that come into play there as far as football fast. And when you run one of those, you want to be football fast.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to be fast, but this is more important. Big boys up front. I thought, there's some few questions, some youth there, but I thought that they kind of established a good line of scrimmage. You guys are getting that ball on the edge and kind of getting it out of the pocket a little bit, and I thought, that it was kind of fun to watch, specifically Hudson Hamilton. Who's not a name we've talked about.
Hudson, the thing with Hudson, and this has always been the case with him, is he is physical, and he's going to play physical. And I think when you do that on the O-line, and really at any position, that you give yourself a chance of playing well. And so he's starting to figure out the game more and more. Physical side's always been there. He's growing, and but he's starting to figure out the game. And Mekhi Garmin played well too. And to me, if our two tackles can play well, we're gonna have a chance to do some things. And those two guys, and Mekhi's a captain. It's kind of neat to see those captains when they perform real well.
Yeah, and your center's pretty good too, Holton Hendricks.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the least of your worries. Quarterback, let's talk about that a little bit. Ron Rodriguez gets his first start. Thought he came off as extremely poised and smooth. This is what I saw. Threw a good ball. Handled the option game really well. I mean, he just looked in control. I don't know if I didn't know any better. I'm thinking I'm watching a senior that's played a bunch, but this was his first varsity snaps, and I thought Jake Qualia came in and got a lot of quality snaps as well. But you get multiple quarterbacks reps in their first varsity action. Yeah,
starting with Ryan, that's who you talked about first. I think he'd like to have that first throw back. It was a little bit of a nervous
overthrow.
throw.
Yeah,
he just kind of slipped out of his hand and all that. But that was kind of what we said. Hey, your first play, we're going to take a shot deep. Kind of told him, hey, throw a touchdown or throw a pick. Doesn't matter. Nerves will be gone. Told him if it's a pick, I'll look up to the crowd and I'll say, hey, that was me. It wasn't. And but anyway, it was good. He kind of settled down after that. And but that's Ryan. Like that's his deal. He has been. We've known him, since he was in middle school, going to Laura Bush, and there's just always been he's just pretty straight. We try to get him to smile a little bit and have fun with it, and he does. But good play, bad play. His demeanor is very similar, and that's great. You like that. You like that in the huddle when things are going bad, and he's just still same stone face, ready for the next play. So thought he did some really good things. I think we're just going to get better at that position as the year goes on, and then Jake, we've mentioned this before, but Jake is a really good football player, and I think there's some stuff that he brings to the table that helps our team. And I know he'd be ready to step in and run the show right now too, and that's really good when you got two of them that can do that. But there's still some packages with Jake because we think he can help us and he can do some things maybe that he's a little better at than Ryan, and I think they complement each other pretty well.
Yeah, and he's obviously a really good athlete too. So that puts a bow on that one. 42-0. Again, just really really fun game to be a part of and watch, and I'm sure Coach as well. That's one of those games where after it's over, it's like, hey, man, I got to find something to get on to these guys about. But I'm sure you could find a few things.
Oh yeah, it's never as good as it seems.
You're right. And so it's a bit different this week. We're 2 or 3 days before game time as we tape this here. And Frenship on the schedule. Don't know how much longer they'll be on the schedule or anything like that. That's me talking. I don't know, but it's all. I said this to you last year right before this game. This is one of these games that means everything, and yet it means nothing.
Yeah.
And I think people can grasp what I mean by that,
Sure.
but it doesn't affect your district or your big team goal
Yep.
or your goal of a deep playoff run and all that. However, a lot of people care.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely. And I think we use it as something that our team has just done a great job of going back to, I mean, really when Max was a head coach in this game, this rivalry was really getting going. But I really think in the last 2 or 3 years, our guys have done a great job of making sure, similar to what I said about a scrimmage, and where it's a huge negative is if you don't get better from it. And that's it. We're gonna roll out Friday, and we're gonna do everything that we can to win the game. We've prepped all week, everything that we can. That's happening across town too. But ultimately, if we win big, if we lose big, if it's a 5 overtime down to the wire, no matter what, it's got to get us better. And the atmosphere, the hype, the lead up, all that does is prep us for big district games. And we've got 6 big district games that against quality opponents. And I just think it'll help us. And I mean, I'm all the way through. I'm talking kids, coaches, hopefully fans. I mean, just everybody. Get us better, put us in a good situation where hopefully we get in the playoffs, and when it's do or die, we're ready for a pressure situation.
yeah. And you mentioned that this is a series. I guess the last 3 of these have been down like the last possession.
I think
The
4.
last- okay, 4. Yeah, even back to when the game that was at Jones AT&T.
That was 20 and 19. It was the 4 overtime game,
okay.
and then a 1-score game at Jones.
I remember the last one at Frenship was a
1-point.
Holt Gibson right there in that last play, and he kind of went down, and then obviously last year it was pretty much down to the wire in a bit of a shootout. 2 really good offenses here. I know you love your defense. I know Frenship's got some really good linebackers and going to be a quality defense as well. Do you expect this to be shootout, like offensive kind of a game, or do you just have no idea until you get into this deal?
Yeah, you have no idea. I mean, their offense is scary. I mean, it is really good. You've got a quarterback like they've got. Hutchinson is he's just so good, and he talk about poise. He's got it.
One of the best players you may see all year.
Yeah, I hope.
Well,
I hope there's not that many better
Okay,
than him.
yeah.
on the-
But I think that he's about as good as I saw last year. I mean,
You
period.
see him make some throws, even just watching our game from last year. That he does some subtle things about how he moves in the pocket, and he's just a really good player. But no, their offense is good, so we'd love to shut them out, right? I mean, like ultimately, we're not walking into it saying, well, we're gonna give up 42 points or anything like that. But we know they're so explosive; they're gonna move the ball at times, and I think we've just got to be good at playing the next play, and that's as cliche as it gets. But we've got a good plan. Feel like our kids have responded all week, and they know what's happened the last 4 years, and we're 1-3 in the last 4 years, and they know that, and we've talked about that quite a bit. So it's time for us to uphold our end of the rivalry. Ultimately, they've kind of dominated us, so our kids are excited about it. But to me, also, like you look at our defense in particular, you should they want a challenge, and I think you should want to play the best teams and kind of see where we stand. But I don't know what to expect. I don't think it'll be a 14-13 game, or what was a couple years ago 15-14. I don't think it'll be that, but I don't think it's going to be 70-65 either. I think it's somewhere in the middle, and in these games, special teams play a huge role. They do a good job with special teams too. I think Coach Roboto, their defensive coordinator, I think helps a lot with some of that, and they usually scheme pretty well. So we're gonna have to be good there and feel good about it.
Yeah, and Friday night, this is what this is all about, though. It's just the town, the cross town kind of stuff. This is what's so much fun about just the sport in general.
Yep.
And yet it's funny because the tangible thing is, you win a non-district game, but it doesn't get anybody to where they would ultimately like to go.
Right.
And holding up a trophy at the at the end of their district season, or winning the state championship, or get you a playoff win. I mean, but yet, because different classifications and all that stuff, that's why. But anyway, it's just kind of, I think it's a fun game that
It is.
people care about.
They do.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
they care about. And they've got a new good receiver, Chase Campbell, kid
Mm-hmm.
I know well, and he's a really good athlete, really good basketball player too, and he's just another weapon that they've got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got them all over the field,
Yeah.
and that's what I mean. I think we play. They don't want to compare players by any means, but you're going to play teams that they've got a good guy, one guy. Well, you can double him, and you can do some
Yeah, I
stuff.
can't do
and
that here.
Yeah, they're just too good. And then some of the schemes that they do, I thought they schemed Coronado really well. Had a great plan, and they always do with us too. So, yep, makes it tough. And then on defense, something I think that gets overlooked with them when you have an offense like they do. The defense is out there quick, and so the defense sees a lot of snaps and a lot of series. I am so impressed with how they can be multiple. They will line up and be in something totally different, and they're pretty good with their run fits and coverages and how to mix and match those. And anyway, so that makes it a challenge how they play defense.
Yeah, because this was a 45-26 final, Frenship over Coronado, but I think at one point it was 45-7.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
so they just kind of, it was a lot. And then I think, obviously Coronado did some things. Yeah, but Frenship, I think, averaged 35 a game last year.
Yeah.
So, and then obviously out of the gate with 45 this year. So, okay, so 7 o'clock, Tiger Stadium, People's Bank Stadium, I guess it is. We'll be on 100.7 The Score, LCISD YouTube channel, all that stuff. Our man Colton Coons, who's behind the camera right now, be producing that bad boy, and I look forward to just a fun Friday night.
Better get there early.
I would suggest
82nd Street is, I feel like, the last couple of years. I remember our guys in the press box when they get up last time, and they said, you should see the line of cars,
These
all
two
the way to
high
Buffalo
schools-
Wild Wings or further.
These two high schools are edges of town,
Yeah.
and there's kind of one or two main thoroughfares to get there, and once those are clogged up,
Yeah.
you're just kind of you're in the traffic jam. But yeah,
right.
I might want to prepare to get there early. Okay, fun stuff here. Best nickname on your team or staff is what?
Before I answer, who's this fun for? You said fun stuff. I don't
For
know
for the people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for the people. Yeah, we got
Okay.
to play to the people.
gotcha.
Yeah.
I like.
You should embrace this. You should just give these kinds of questions a big hug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like. I probably like Cole Stanzioni. We call him Little Bear.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
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 Great family, great couple of players. I mean, they do their things the right way. I mean, that's, yeah. And Cole is, I mean, no easy task. He's replacing Cutter Douglas
Yeah.
kind of in that same spot, and which is not easy to do. And he's doing a great job so far.
Yep, he sure is.
Because I know how much respect you guys had for Cutter in that
Yeah.
locker room and all that. But yeah, Cole's a really good player, as is Caden.
Yep.
Okay, the three words. We'll do these three thing kind of deal here. 3 words that best describe your coaching style.
Oh man.
And they don't have to be. They don't have to be a sentence, but like
Right.
I mean,
Mine personally.
yeah,
not
the
like
way
the
you would
staff.
view your coaching style.
I would say organized.
Okay.
Like that's a big one for me.
It's a big one for any
try to
coach.
be, yeah. Laid back isn't maybe the word, but something along those lines. Like I'm not a yeller and a screamer. More just we've got to do this on time and things like that. And I let Coach Hayes and other Coach Darden do all the yelling and screaming.
The bad cop.
Yeah,
that's right.
I'm the good
Well,
cop.
communicator then.
Maybe,
Your
yeah.
communication is a
Sure,
is a-
that might
yeah,
be-
yeah,
that might be
with the way
okay.
that- yeah.
And then I would say positive.
Yeah.
That's something I learned from my dad and watching how he coached and positivity, and ultimately we're hoping to have fun and enjoy
That's
every
what it's
part
supposed
of
to
it.
be.
Yeah, so
That's what it's supposed to be. I'd take that, man. I think that's what. I mean, really, I respect that a heck of an organization because I mean, being prepared and organized and all that versus the opposite.
yeah.
Not good.
Yeah,
It'd be hard to
absolutely.
be successful. In
Now I guess you could ask like the assistant coaches that question. You might get totally different answers. I don't
Yeah,
know. Or ask the
possibly.
team, they might think otherwise. But
3 things you'd never do. To which I would answer something like, I would never like skydive. It
Yeah.
just is not going to happen. Is there something that out there that you would be like, man, I'm not,
Man, I might say skydiving now. I used to be roller coasters are fine. Like I wasn't
Oh,
like,
yeah,
all
I know.
about them, but there's something, I don't know if it's old age, but something, it might just be getting hit in the head too many times, but I'm a little off. I don't think I could skydive. There's some stuff, and I think we mentioned the ocean last week, but there's some stuff with the ocean.
Oh,
that
yeah,
I'm not
the unknown.
Yeah, I'm not a big
Yeah.
fan of that. So I don't know. Like I don't mind snorkeling and all that stuff, but I don't know that I could go out in the middle of the ocean
Scuba
and
diving, like deep sea
go do
diving
it.
kind of thing.
I
Yeah,
don't think
no,
I could do that.
I don't. I'm with you.
And then I don't know. I don't think I could. I don't think I could be like me and my wife talk about this sometimes. She grew up on a ranch and like living off the land and being away from. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
You're
I
not
gotta
into
have,
camping. You're not. Yeah, no.
I'm fine with it for a night.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna go do it for a long time.
You need some modern, amenities and things like that around you. I totally get it, man.
I got to go to Rose's every now and then.
Hey, man, yeah, that's right. Go buy some food. Okay, I got these two questions around the office. One you'll think is funny. The other one is just completely random, but they wanted your opinion. What color is a tennis ball?
Yellow.
Okay, I wouldn't have.
The letters on it are green.
Are they? They said ask him what color a tennis ball is. I was like, I don't even know. I haven't seen a tennis ball like up close. I know they're yellow greenish, but it goes back to our Gatorade conversation last year. And then here is this totally random one. Chocolate chip cookies, are they supposed to be crispy or gooey? Which one is the delivery there?
Yeah, probably gooey.
Okay, yeah. I'm probably would be sold there. So
that is a very random question.
no, makes no sense. But we're here to please, right? See, it wasn't rough.
Yeah,
it was fun. It was fun. Okay, well, Coach, good luck Friday night, 7:00. Again, as you heard Coach Darden right there, be there early. Make sure you're not pushing it. Traffic will be crazy. Make sure I think there's maybe some still tickets available, so you might try to get some of those if you're. There's a ticket link on the Athletics LCP, I think, Twitter account so that you can. I think there's one on the district website as well. So
make sure you click on there. There's a
visitors home side. Make sure you click visitor if you're watching this and rooting for the Pirates. But man, go have fun. You guys stay healthy, and it should be fun. And whatever happens, a lot of ball left to play, no matter what. And so it's not the end all be all, but be a fun one to win for sure.
Yep. It's going to be a good night, so hope everybody can make it out.
Yeah, there you go. All right, there for Coach Darden, from my man Colton Coons behind the camera. This is Chris Lovell. That's been another edition of Pirate Talk.